Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are reading the chapter Our Organ System, and we have read about skeletal system. In the previous topic, we saw about the bones of skull, backbone, ribs, and limbs. And today we are going to read about joints. What are joints? Students, that place where the bones meet, that place is called as a joint. Joint is the point of connection between two bones, and that point where two bones meet, that point is called as a joint. There are two basic kinds of joints. First one is freely movable joints, and number second, immovable joints. Freely movable joints, as the name implies, that a joint, it will be that place where the bones will be free to move, and immovable joints will be that joint where the bones will not be showing any kind of movement at the point of contact. So, first of all, we are going to read about freely movable joints. Students, these freely movable joints are those places. Freely movable joints are the points of contact between the two bones where the bones are free to move. The bones are free to show any kind of movement. For example, according to your book, when we sit down to eat, the forearm bends towards the upper arm. How is this possible? This is possible because of the joints at the elbow. This joint acts as a hinge on the door, which enables the forearm to move towards the upper arm. Students, this freely movable joint at the elbow is called as hinge joint. Similar kind of joint is present also in the knee, and knee joint is also called as a hinge joint. So, the elbow and the knee, their hinge joint is present, and these joints are called as freely movable joints. Students, the bones of movable joints are held together by a flexible tissue which is called as ligament. These freely movable joints occur in our limbs, like we read. They occur in the elbow and they occur at the knee. Students, similar kind of movable joint is present in our lower jaw. As we read in the last topic also, that the lower jaw bone is the only movable bone among the 14 bones of the face, and that lower jaw bone is called as mandible. Because of that mandible, that is because of that movable bone in our face, we are able to speak, eat, or laugh. Now students, moving towards the shoulder. When we move our arm in a full swing, that movement is possible only because of the joints at the shoulder. What is that joint at the shoulder? Students, that the shoulder bone ends in a cup-like socket where a joint is present. And the ball-like head of the bone of our upper arm fits into that socket. So because of that cup or ball and socket like structures at the shoulder, this shoulder joint is called as ball and socket joint. Students, the bones of the skull except the jaw bones have fixed joints. Except the jawbone, that is mandible. Now the second one, that is movable joints. Immovable joints, sorry. We read about freely movable joints, and now we are going to read about immovable joints. These immovable joints are the joints where bones are not allowed to have any movement. And these immovable joints are present at the sutures of the skull where the bones of the skull meet. We have already read that how many bones are present in the skull, and those bones that are present in the skull, they cannot show any kind of movement. Why? Because between them immovable joints are present that do not allow a bone to show any movement. These joints are interlocked and they do not allow any movement between them, as I already told you. Students, besides these freely movable joint and immovable joints, we are also having two joints that are sliding and pivot joints. Students, at the sides of sliding joints, bones move, but they move very slightly. Such joints are found between the joints of our ankle bones and the vertebra of the backbone. And number second, that is pivot joint. Students, at pivot joints, what do bones do? Bones move from side to side, and such joints are found in the neck where the bones move from side to side. And this is because of those pivot joints that they allow the nodding of our head. Students, there are some joints present in our body that are lubricated with a liquid called as synovial fluid, which is found between the bones. As you can see on your books, skull joint, this is totally an immovable joint, and sliding joint present in the ankle bones, and pivot joint in the neck, which helps in the nodding of the head. This was all about our skeletal system, and we read about different kinds of bones, and we also read about different kinds of joints. Thank you.